Hello, 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 Love Advice TV community. This is Coach Adrian, and I wanted to try something a little bit different today. I wanted to try to tackle technology once again and to try to do a live coaching session, or at least a live video session today for you guys. And also, I had quite a few exciting announcements to share. So we were supposed to do a live webinar last week, and it was a big fail because technology let us down. And I was quite disappointed about it, and we're still working behind the scenes to try to figure out what went wrong and why. But we learn and we grow. And so we've decided to push that live webinar back a couple of weeks and still do this in due time for all of you. But it was very important for me to get on Love Advice TV Live to do something a little bit different today. And what I wanted to talk about is the anxiety that a lot of you feel after a breakup. And I wanted to talk about common fears that many people experience after a breakup. I was coaching a young lady in Australia last night, and it really warmed my heart. I feel very connected to her. I'm so proud of the progress that she's made, and she inspired me actually to do this live video today because she was experiencing a lot of the fears that most of the people that I coach experience also after a breakup, throughout their breakup recovery. And I wanted to share, to demystify some of those fears for you so that you don't feel that something is wrong with you, or so that you don't feel discouraged along the way and feel like you're never going to get your ex back. Okay? So this isn't to scare you. On the contrary, this is to give you hope so that you can overcome some of your fears and realize that nothing is wrong with you. A lot of people out there are experiencing the exact same thing. And the fear number one that I want to talk about is the fear that your ex is going to move on and to forget about you. Every single person that I coach, no matter where they live, how old they are, how successful they are, fears that their ex is going to move on and forget about them. And it's because you're in this position of desperation, neediness. The rug is swept from underneath your feet. You are often surprised by this decision to break up, and you feel powerless. And so your fears and your anxieties start to get the best of you. But the reality of it is that your ex will not forget about you. Even if it was a short-term relationship, you are not going to just be forgotten. And it's important for you to understand that most people fear that their ex is just going to move on and forget about them, but it's only your ego, your fears and your insecurities, that voice in your head that's making you feel like the worst possible scenario is upon you. The second fear that I see every day is that your ex is going to meet someone else, that your ex is going to somehow jump into another relationship, that they're going to live happily ever after, and that because they found someone else, they're not going to want to be with you. And even the people whose ex is already dating someone else still have experienced this fear that they're going to live happily ever after. And again, though this is just this voice in your head that's getting the best of you, the reality of it is that you've already lost your ex, and you need to accept that. The more you are able to come to the realization that the relationship is over and that we are trying to build a new and improved relationship, the better your chances are of actually winning him or her back. And it's quite interesting because very often in coaching session, I have to remind people, the worst has already happened. You've already lost him or her. Accept it. And if you do accept that, then you can turn your focus on your personal transformation and actually create something new, and have something new to offer to the one you love. And I love what I do, and many people have our job, um, have preconceived ideas about what we do. And the truth of the matter is that I'm the luckiest man in the world, because I get to interact with people that are amazing, and I get to see people become their better selves. I don't do what I do to help people just get back together. I do what I do to help people experience happiness, to help people grow, and to set the basis and the foundation to create a new and improved relationship with the one you love. And that entails overcoming these fears that I wanted to talk to you guys about today. Another common fear that I have to deal with, is this fear that too much time is passing after the breakup, and so you're going to miss your window of opportunity. And that is something that a lot of people struggle. Time is passing by, we're still not back together, my ex is going to forget about me. And time is all relative, my friends. And the reality of it is that right after a breakup is usually the worst time to try to win someone back, because you're vulnerable, you're putting your ex on a pedestal, you're basically in a distorted reality, and it's very difficult to be able to maximize your attraction power and to offer to your significant other a new and improved relationship in that state of mind. Of course, you want to get back together, and you're eager, you're full of good intentions, and you want to convey that to the one you love. But oftentimes after a breakup is the worst time to try to do that. And letting time pass is not only necessary, but it also enables you to maximize your chances of actually winning them back. So this is a fear that you need to try to overcome by gaining perspective. Another common question that I get, or fear that I have, is that people won't have an opportunity to showcase their change because you're not on speaking terms, or because you don't know how your ex is going to see that transformation that is underway, because perhaps you're blocked on social media, something along those lines. And it's a good question, but one that shows that you're not approaching the breakup recovery process the right way. As I often say, the hard part is not to showcase that you've changed. The hard part is to actually change. And a breakup is, quite honestly, one of the most challenging, difficult periods of someone's life. And the more you are able to detach from trying to prove something to your ex or to other people, and use this as an opportunity to grow and to learn and to better yourself, the better your chances are going to be to actually win your ex back quickly. And once you've evolved, in essence, because you are a new you, people perceive you in a new way. And showcasing your change isn't that complicated when change actually has occurred. And that's the big lesson that I want you to get here. It's that, stop worrying about showcasing your change. All that you're doing is putting your ex on a pedestal and acting desperate. The more you actually focus on your day-to-day process of personal transformation, approaching it one day at a time, the quicker it will be for you to showcase that change. And that is extremely, extremely important for you to not only understand, but also to apply in your day-to-day process of breakup recovery. I know that a lot of you spend so much time on our channel, on YouTube, doing research on how to get an ex back. And it can turn into an obsession. It can be counterproductive because you're gaining all this knowledge, but you're not taking action. You're not actually using this knowledge in order to transform yourself. And that's a big lesson that I want to also share with you today. If our channel is creating anxiety, or if our channel is causing you like a paralysis and you can't act, then it's better to do without our videos. Honestly, I do what I do to give you hope, to give you tools to then take action in order to reach your goals. So this is something that I wanted to talk about. We're running out of time because I had trouble with technology yet again. starting this YouTube live, and I have a coaching session with a dear client in 6 minutes, but I still want to hit a couple of points. Another fear is that your ex is a particularly stubborn person, and that the tools that we talk about on Love Advice TV or what you read on our blog may not apply to you because your ex was adamant that this one is done. And they were sure, they're stubborn. And so you feel powerless because you feel that your ex is just never going to, see the light or never going to acknowledge your change. And the truth of the matter is that the beautiful thing about our process is that it's not dependent on your ex. It's not dependent on their personality or how they think or how they feel in this moment. Clearly, they have a negative image of you and they don't think that you guys can be happy together. That's why the breakup occurred. But ultimately, people are successful working with us in coaching sessions because they focus on the things that they can control. And we're talking about true personal transformation. Once you offer something new, even if your ex is the most stubborn person in the world, if they feel that they can be happy with that new person, well, they're going to want to give it another shot. The heart wants what it wants. And don't be stuck here thinking about what your ex may have said or how they feel about you now. They feel about you now based on mistakes that have occurred, begging, neediness, or perhaps you were too distant and neglected them. And so they've come to the conclusion that you can't make them happy. But if you focus on your process of personal transformation, I guarantee you that even the most stubborn person in the world, even your ex, will want to get back with you. And at the very least, this is how we've helped people maximize their chances of success over the last few years. So a few announcements before I go. Again, I'm sorry about this failed webinar that we were supposed to put together last week. It broke my heart. I was so excited to share some of my research findings with you. I had blocked 2 hours to go over some of the newly created material. So to make it up to you guys, if you go on withmyexagain.com coaching and you use the coupon code GOODFIGHT, all good fight, one word, you can get 15% towards a coaching session with me. This is valid until the end of the week. I don't do discounts ever because my schedule is so crazy, but I feel so bad, especially for all of you guys that had signed up for the webinar and that were excited for it. If you want to do a coaching session with me at a discount, feel free to use that coupon code GOODFIGHT at checkout for the next 3 days. So there you have it. Another thing is that for the summer, we are considering switching from our regular programming of publishing one video at noon Eastern every day and do more of these live YouTube videos. And we could either address a topic of your choice that you guys through the comment section suggest, or we could just do a straight up Q&A. There's so many comments that are pouring in. Thank you so much for all of the kind words. And I was thinking that instead of doing our regular programming, we could switch it up and do live Q&As like this. You guys, come at a scheduled time at noon, and it's either Coach Natalie or Coach Alex or Coach Abby or myself. And for half an hour or perhaps for an hour, we answer your questions. If you think that this is a good idea, please like this video. Like it so that it'll serve as some sort of feedback to us that this is something that you would want us to do for you. Again, we are here for you, and ultimately what we want to do is to be of service and to help you in the best ways that we can. Last but not least, Coach Natalie and I have been working on something super, super special that we will unveil at the end of the summer. And so super excited for that. Keep an eye out in the coming weeks for something super exciting coming up in our universe. I have a coaching session in 1 minute. Unfortunately, this had to be cut short. I was hoping to touch on a lot of more material. But again, the key points is that we want to do more live Q&As with you on Love Advice TV over the summer and switch our formats. Let us know how you feel about it. You can get a discounted coaching session with me for the next 3 days by using the coupon code GOODFIGHT at checkout, buying any one of my coaching packages. And again, sorry for the failed webinar. We're working on fixing our technical issues. Thank you again, guys, for giving us purpose. Thank you for subscribing to our YouTube channel and for believing in our philosophy, and most importantly, for trusting us with this critical time in your life. As always, keep fighting the good fight, and see you soon for another live video on Love Advice TV. Take good care, my dear friends, and bye-bye.